like it.
All right.
Girl, I'm so lazy. I'm just gonna do this. Who cares? This is Xochil, everyone. Thanks for watching The Full Color Life. I'm Hannah Lynn, and yeah, we're just having coffee here at Foxtrot, which is really great. Right here on, is this Chicago?
It's Chicago. And
Chicago
Clark.
Avenue and Clark. It's new. What is your job title? Because I know it has to do with fashion and fabric.
I named my company, and so I named my title the Chicago Pattern Maker, and I am the owner and pattern maker, product developer for apparel brands.
When did this start for you?
Well, I've been interested in fashion since I can remember. I learned how to sew from my grandmother when I was about 7 years old, and she taught me how to make doll clothes. From there...
Did you have an American Girl doll?
I did, but not until I was like a little older, like 10, but yes.
Okay. Did you make clothes for...
I did make clothes for my American Girl doll, yes.
My mom taught me how to sew, and I made clothes for my American Girl doll too.
That's awesome.
I always wonder if that's where it started.
I still have them too, actually.
Do you really?
I do. I had a 4-H teacher actually when I was younger. I was in 4-H and Girl Scouts, and my 4-H leader taught me how to sew actual outfits for myself. And from there I made like school dance outfits, my prom dress, things like that. I still didn't really realize that like a career in actual fashion was a possibility until later in high school, where I started taking courses at MATC, which is Madison Area Technical College. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And did that while I was still in high school. Took sewing and pattern making classes to learn more about what to do, and came to Chicago, went to the Illinois Institute of Art for fashion design, and still think I wanted to be a designer versus a pattern maker until I got into my first pattern making classes, and I really loved that side of it. It's kind of the analytical side of fashion that I think a lot of designers don't like. They like the sketching and picking fabrics and things like that.
Yeah, I've never thought of that being a part of the process, I guess.
Yeah.
So you would say that you're a pattern maker.
Yes. Making patterns involves math. It's kind of translating the sketch into a three-dimensional, body form. You're putting it on a person, not on a piece of paper. So kind of translating how to do that, what measurements are going to be needed, how much ease goes into the garment, thinking about materials and how they drape, stuff like that.
What brought you to Chicago?
My dad grew up part of his childhood in Chicago, so I'd had family in the area, and I remember visiting multiple times a year growing up and just being so in love with the city and the energy, and so I knew I really wanted to come to school here, and made that happen, and fell in love, all over again when I moved here and decided to make it my home. My very first job out of school, I worked for a clothing boutique that's long been closed, but it was in Old Town neighborhood, so I got to see great neighborhood in Chicago, Lincoln Park, Old Town, and I worked on custom handbags and restyling. So I would take old garments, bridesmaid dresses or vintage pieces, and cut them up and rework them into more modern, cool things. So it involved a lot of problem solving and figuring out usage of fabric and things like that, making patterns and then fitting it to the clients. That was 3 years until they closed, and from there I was kind of left with do I find another job? I looked for stuff. Was
that your first job in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was 2009, so the economy was terrible, and I was like, well, okay, well, do I find a job? I ended up finding a job that I thought was just going to be a quick, Christmas time retail job. They offered me a management position, and I found myself going, do I really want to do that?
Yeah.
And so I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to just take the opportunity to start my own business and do what I want to do. And I'd already done a couple just freelance projects. To kind of test the waters, and decided to start my business. So I've been doing this since 2009.
So you left the management position.
I never took the job.
Oh, you didn't even take the job? You're
no.
like, no.
They offered it to me, and I was like, wait, do I want this? No, I don't
You're like,
want this.
screw this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on my own.
Yes.
Yeah. What's like the biggest thing that you've learned so far, like going out on your own? Because that's a big step, I feel like.
It is, yeah, and it's very nerve-wracking to like take that first step, but I just had faith that it'll all work out, and luckily people referred business to me. I did a lot of like networking events and met with local designers, fabric reps who knew people around the country. I'm really lucky. I'm booked, constantly, and people are finding me online or they're finding me on Instagram, and clients are referring other people who are starting businesses. So
would you say that networking is a big part of like how you got started?
Huge part, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So would you say that that's more important, networking like face to face, than social media?
I think it's changed. I mean, obviously it's different 2018 from 2009. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's evolved, but I still feel like when you're on social media, you are networking, even if you're not in the same room.
What are some brands you've worked with?
Some of my favorites are, they're not all fashion brands, but Diamond MMA is a really great client of mine. They do compression shorts and jock straps for MMA fighters.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you been able to meet any MMA fighters?
No, not yet, no. I know my husband would probably love to go to some of the fights, but
Yeah.
no, but I see the clips of like when they talk about it on TV, or see the athletes who are really passionate about the product, and that makes me feel good that
You're like,
something I was
made that.
involved with,
Yeah.
is affecting people's lives is pretty cool. I've worked with medical products, lab coats and things for doctors. I've worked on more fashion forward type things. A new client that's coming out with their line very soon is called Herman and Herman. They do tomboy chic, and I'm really excited about that. I also have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cute.
She's like super energetic and loves playing in my office. She drapes with like her blankets on my dresser.
Does she like to dress up?
She's starting to get more particular about what she's wearing, or like I'll pick an outfit with her and then 2 minutes later she's like, no, I don't want this, I want to pick a different dress. Or my mom tells me I used to change my clothes like 5 times a day when I was little. And
Really?
So
See, and now your daughter's starting to get that point.
yeah, which is, it's interesting because now I feel like I've come full circle and I'm more interested in this idea of like the capsule wardrobe.